The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports.
Braxton Berrios now from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped it to 14.
Come on, set.
Now the first running back drafted in April, this is Breece Hall. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
They go play action with Wilson.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. They go play action now. Wilson. He's going to look deep for more. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on third down. And third down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a fourth down.
On fourth down, punt coming from Braden Mann.
Back deep is Tyreek Hill. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And taken right on the 30. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. That is caught downfield. It's Waller.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They'll get 34 yards there.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
Here's the rookie out of Rutgers, Isaiah Pacheco.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Tua sets up to pass it. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are on the board first here this afternoon.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to strip.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Dolphins are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
So he'll be stopped here for no gain, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Tua going to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
This taken in at the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls, because these are the top 2 teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. From the gun, it's Tua. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Tagovailoa going for it on 4th down. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Tua to throw again. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And got his man complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A big pickup of 38.
I think this defense was still trying to recover from that last play, so you wonder if they were ready for this one. You have to imagine their defensive coaches are yelling at them to get focused, because if they don't, more plays like that will result in giving up points.
Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. second and goal. Tua. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Darren Waller, his second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins have taken the lead.
We're still in the first quarter, but it's apparent they're going to have to come up with a different defensive game plan for him because right now he's kind of having his way against that defense and has added a touchdown to the list. How do you slow him down? They're going to have to mix up some coverages, maybe change who's guarding him.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 14-7. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go.
To throw again on second down. Wilson. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, you ever heard the story of Icarus in mythology? That's the guy who flew too close to the sun and had his wings melted. That was our guy right there. Keeps pressing it and pressing it. Finally, on that throw, he paid the price with that turnover.
After the turnover, it's Tua. Got a man, it's Darren Waller. Touchdown, Dolphins. Darren Waller with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although.
It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Berrios now from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And intercepted. Wilson's third of the game. And some room to work. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown.
Well, turnabout is fair play, I guess. They had a pick six against them earlier, and now this defense, Charles, they get a pick six of their own.
And for a moment, let's just set aside how it impacts the scoreboard, because how about the response? One defense gets the pick six, the other comes back and matches it. These are two defenses that are planning on winning the game for their teams themselves.
Berrios going to bring this out of the end zone.
And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And in fact, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Justin Reed. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. This is caught. And the Dolphins are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Isaiah Pacheco, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And a rout is on here in this first half. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Berrios now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Again, he finds more. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that's going to bring up second down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Come on, set. Hard.
On second down, a run with Hall. Oh, nice move. And he'll have a Jets first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Javon Holland. The 20. 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown.
I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick six, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the second quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression. My goodness, indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you've got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Alpha.
On 2nd and 2, Wilson. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
Jalen Phillips was second among rookies with 8.5 sacks in 2021. And the Dolphins, they believe he can be their first player with double-digit sacks since Cameron Wake in 2017.
So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. On 3rd down, Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Darren Waller on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Dolphins will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So that pretty conclusively, I might add, shows you the perils of going for it and not making it on 4th down. One play, touchdown.
Yeah, and I've got to put this on the man in charge, the head coach. He made the decision to go for it. To me, when punting was the only decision to make, and it backfired on him in a big way.
Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
Berrios going to bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
54 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Moore, the man in motion. From the 45 on second down, Wilson. He's going to look deep for Moore. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They gave it a shot with a deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Open man here is Cup. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the third quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's Tua. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Tua. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Hey, check ready.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will be a touchback. Barrios deciding not to bring it out. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Play action. Now Wilson. He finds his man complete. It's Wilson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
A nice stick and stop for a loss there from Jalen Phillips.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Xavier Rhodes with a pick.
And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6th one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I can go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
It's a gain of 23 yards. And the Dolphins.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Faster, faster.
Looking to pass. Tua. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Brandon Eccles. And the Jets are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10.
At their own 20-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to look deep for more. And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Pat Surtain.
The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Going for the deep ball. And incomplete on the deep ball.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua.
And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. The former 3rd overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down.
Big Quinnen Williams continuing to improve in the middle of that line for New York. Had 13 sacks in his last 2 seasons, which is excellent for a defensive tackle.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Throwing on 2nd and long.
Tua. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And he's going to lose yardage here. as they will switch ends as time has run out on this third quarter of play. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Come on, set.
They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Jets are going to get the football back. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from bad to worse as they trail here starting this drive 1st and 10 in the 4th quarter.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Bradley Chubb in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long.
But when this game is done, the credit will go to the consistent pressure on the quarterback as a huge cause of this win. Most teams are happy if they get a few of these games per year. You know they're going to watch this tape over and over, try to identify what's working and keep it.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Rocky Sin. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Here we go, here we go.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
A gain of 19 yards. 1st down, Miami.
Check striking. Black shot.
On play action, here's Tua. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Being chased out left.
And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. But at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. He wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the 1st down. Tua on 4th down. Delivering another one here to Darren Waller. He's got it again. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it'll be 2nd down. from the shotgun. Wilson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. The offense on third down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Wilson will throw again. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this run.
And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
He's got room at the 30.
He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
It's a gain of 75 yards.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. That's complete to his tight end, Waller.
2nd down at 4.
Watch out, 6.
Tua setting up shop to throw again. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach.
Then give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. There's Wilson to throw. One last shot at the end zone. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a